Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you the easiest way on how to draft a corset in a very easy way. Like, you don't have to stress yourself on how to cut or draft a corset anymore. If you're watching my video for the first time, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah, and if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thanks for clicking on this video. Please stay till the end.
Here are the materials you'll be needing to draft out your corset. You need your brown paper, your tape rule, your paper tape, your pencils, and your ruler. From the upper part of my pattern paper, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch for sewing allowance. From that point, I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Now from the top of my pattern paper, I came down by my bust point, which was 10 inches. I marked it there. Still leaving my tape on the pattern paper, I came down by 13 inches, which is the under bust point. I came down to my half length, that's my waistline, which is 16.5. So I just continued marking out that same measurement, my bust point, under bust points, my half length. I went ahead to mark it across the paper, and I drew out the line with my ruler. Now, because it's going to be an inbuilt top, I came down from the half length there by 6 inches. Came down by 6 inches, and this measurement is standard. Whether you are making it for a plus size or a small size person, just come down by 6 inches if you are making it to be like an inbuilt corset top. Now from the top of the pattern paper, I came down by 7 inches. That is going to serve as the chest line. That is how deep she wants her neckline to be for the corset top. So go ahead and use your client's measurements for yours. After that, I just went ahead to label it, my chest line, bust point, under bust point, half length, and then my basque waist. That's the hem of the top. From this end of my pattern paper, I came in by the neckline, which I made use of 3.2 because the person I'm making this for has body, she's not very slim. And then for the depth, I came down by 3.5. So if you're making this for a slim person, just use the neck width of 3 inches, neck depth of 3.5 to be okay. Then I connected the neck width to the 1 inch I came down by for my shoulder slope, and then I just connected the lines together like so. Now to get my armhole depth, I divided the shoulder measurement by 2. Our shoulder measurement is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5. So I just chalked down 7.5 and I outlined that line. I went on to divide that 7.5 into 2 and I marked out the middle there. Now since for the shoulder you made use of your shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch, on that center part that you marked, you're going to use your shoulder measurement divided by 2 only. And I marked out 7.5 at that center part. For the shoulder I used 8. For the armhole point I made use of 8 again. And I went ahead to connect the lines together. Now that armhole point is where I'm going to be taking my bust measurement divided by 4, and I marked it down there. Now I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect that point to meet the center of the armhole there, like so. Now we have our perfect armhole curve. The next thing to do is to divide your bust span, that's your nipple to nipple measurements, by 2, and I got 4. Our nipple to nipple measurement is 8, divided by 2 is 4. I marked that out on the chest line, bust point, under bust point, all the way down to the hemline, and I connected it with my ruler. After connecting, yours should be looking exactly like this. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Now at the under bust, I took out 0.2 because our bust cup is not big. She has like a small bust cup. But if your bust cup is a bit big, you're on the bust 38, make use of 1 inch. If your bust is from like 40, make use of 1.5. So for me, on both sides, I marked 0.2 and I took that from the under bust point all the way down to the hemline, and I connected it with my ruler. After connecting, you should have something looking like this. Moving on, from the bust point, you are going to come down by 1 inch. Look at the bust point there. Come down by 1 inch. The reason why we're coming down by 1 inch is because we don't want that bust point area to be sharp. We don't want it to be looking pointy. Now you're going to connect that curve. Connect with a curve from that 0.75 I marked for the under bust to that 1 inch. Just connect it with your curve ruler. You're going to do the same thing for the two sides. Now this is what it looks like after connecting. Now on my chest line, I will come out by 1 inch on that point. But if your bust is a bit bigger, you can come out by 1.2. Now on the parts going to the center, I came in by 0.2, but on the part going to the armhole, I came out by 1 inch. Now I'm going to connect that to the bust point there. If you've watched to this point, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. So after connecting yours, it should look like this. You can see that that bust area is not looking too pointy. Now from the center part of your pattern paper, that point where I'm marking, on the chest line, just come out by 1/2 inch all the way down to your bust point. After doing that, you connect it with your ruler. Now you will make a curve from that bust point there to meet that curve that we have at the under bust there. That curve that we drew, just connect it to meet it. Use a very good curve ruler. You can see how I'm just placing my curve ruler properly. Just adjust till you get it right. You can see it's very easy, right? After connecting it, yours should look like this. To get the curve for the other bust, the other area, you are going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. For me, my nipple to nipple measurement is 8, divided by 2 is 4, so I just marked 4 inches there. Now connect that 4 inches to meet your bust curve at the under bust area. Using your French curve, using the curved part of your French curve, just place it there in a way that it will form a very nice curve. You can see mine. After that, just place the tip of your French curve and take from that 4 inches, just take it straight up. Now from the top of my pattern paper, I'll come down to 8.5 inches, which is my sweetheart neck depth. That is where my clients want hers to stop. Moving on to that armhole part, I came up by 1/2 inch. I marked it out there. Now I'm going to create a curve from that sweetheart neck depth to meet that 1/2 inch I came up by at the armhole area, and I made use of my my French curve. You can go ahead and create whatever neck styling you want, but for the back up styling I will be making, this is the shape at the top there. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, please. I just went ahead to measure what I had at the curve there, that curve that I created, and for the other one it was 3.5. When I measured this one now, I got 3 inches, so I needed to add 1/2 inch extra to make it complete 3.5. So go ahead and measure yours and just reconnect. It's that easy. After reconnecting, I had this. The next thing I did was to start taking my body measurements, and I just measured what that allowance I had on that bust line area, and I replaced it there at the side, and then I added about 1.5 inches for my sewing allowance. You can add up to 2 inches, you can add 1.5 inches depending on how wide you want your allowance to be. On the underbust, I divided the underbust by 4, the underbust measurement by 4. I replaced my darts, that dart I have there. I had 1.5 inches. I replaced it there, and then I just added my sewing allowance to it. I did the same thing on the waistline. I divided the waist measurement by 4, added my darts allowance, and then my sewing allowance. On the basque line, I divided my hip measurement by 4, added my darts allowance, and then my sewing allowance. The next thing I did was to connect the lines together to form my body curve. Once that is done, you can decide to come up from the hemline by 1 inch just to make a curve at that point, and then just connect it. Depends on the way you want to style yours, but I did mine like that. I later did mine like that. Now from the bust point line at the side, I came down by 1 inch, and then I just use my ruler to connect that 1 inch to my nipple point at that bust line area. Just use your ruler to connect it. Look at the way I'm doing mine. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Once that is done, you are going to measure the dart allowance you have at that corset top there, that curve there. I had about 1.2 inches there, and then I just replaced it on the armhole, that side. I replaced it there. The next thing I did was to form my new armhole line. Now I connected that point all the way to the side with a curve. You can see how my own curve look. The next thing to do is to just cut this out following the lines that you've drawn. For me, I don't need the yoke. I only need the lower part. I don't need the yoke. But if you would like me to teach you how to cut a corset with a yoke, please state that in the comment section. So follow the lines and just cut yours out. After doing that, I have one of my cups ready. Now I was supposed to cut out that dart at the side, but I forgot. But that didn't spoil the corset pattern. I still removed the dart. But I was supposed to remove that dart first before cutting out this side cup. Now after trimming out the bust curve area, we have our cup number 2 ready. Now for that side area, I decided to just cut it immediately. I remembered, so I cut open the bust line. That is the bust point line. I just cut open following that line, and then I moved the upper part. I moved the upper part down to that dart line, and then I used the sellotape to close it. Now I went on to label it, my number 2 cup. I labeled the upper part of the cup. I labeled the bust point part. I labeled the lower part of the cup. You need to label it so that you don't make mistake. So this is my cup number 1. That is the upper part. That is the bust point. That is the lower part of this cup. Label yours so you don't make mistake. And after that was done, I went ahead to slit open the side of this top, so that I can remove the dart. I can eliminate the dart for this other side. If you take note, you will notice that I placed the upper piece on top that dart just to eliminate it, and then I used the sellotape to gum it. I'm so sorry I forgot to cut out the dart before cutting out the cups. I'm very sorry. But our main focus on this tutorial is the bra cups, how to make cups easily. So if you want a detailed tutorial on how to cut a corset, you can state that in the comment section. If this tutorial was helpful, please state it in the comment section. And this is the result of the cups we were drafting. I am not done with this cup, so if you would like to know how I made this, state it in the comment section. If you would like to know the easiest way to do a lace placement, state it in the comment section as well. Bye!